on Rutgers Survivor.
4 Slatteries and 1 OG Tropper.
Omar has it! Omar wins immunity!
Immunity is yours. Congratulations. You are safe at the vote tonight.
And bringing an alliance with me, Jaden, and Sage, because I saved Jaden's ass last time, and he knows that, right? Bringing that alliance, vote out Omar without Omar knowing. It's going to be epic.
Next person voted out of Rutgers Survivor, nowhere to hide. Next member of our jury, Jaden.
This is not a traditional immunity. The winner of this challenge will receive safety without power.
If you have won safety without power, please take the necklace to symbolize that tonight. Omar. That's 2. Tonight, that's enough. Please give me your buff.
Give it a few years or so, because I'm a freshman. I'm in just beginning.
Survivors ready? Go!
Well, you guys have made it to the final 3. You've been close this entire game, but now for one of you, your journey is going to end today. It's time that we finally move on to the final immunity challenge of the season. How this is going to work is we're going to play it in 3 parts. Your first part is happening right now in this very room. You're going to run around the room to find 5 Jenga blocks. You can only grab 1 block at a time. Once you find your block, please bring it back to the table. You'll each have a designated section. First person to find their 5 Jenga blocks will immediately move on to the final part of the final immunity challenge. The 2 losers will take part in part 2. Winner of that challenge moves on to part 3, and then the 2 winners will battle it out face to face for the final immunity challenge of the season.
Survivors ready? Go!
You need that stay here. I want to find 5 Jenga blocks. Jenga blocks, once you find one, please run it back to your cup. Paige finds her first Jenga block. His second Jenga block. Paige finds her second. Otto back with his third Jenga block. Paige finds her Jenga block. Right now, silence. Our movie is 3, 8, and 1. Kyle finds his 4th. Only 1 left for Kyle. Moves on to the final part of this immunity challenge. At one point in the game, all 3 of you left tonight. So I sent nature to you guys. Sage finds her 14th block. It's a showdown right now between Kyle and Sage. Facing all out. Sage has 5 Jenga blocks. Sage moves on to the final part of this immunity challenge. Congrats, Sage.
Thank you.
All right. Challenge has officially begun. Right now, you both have 0 blocks you're balancing. It's just to kind of get a gauge of what this challenge is going to be, what you're going to be experiencing. 7, 6, 5, 4.
Babe, will you just let me win?
Why?
Because you know I'm taking you.
Why don't you know I'm taking you?
Huh?
Why don't you know I'm taking you?
I would just rather be able to compete myself.
Remember the last time I gave you a win?
I can. But we're all still here.
And I look like an idiot. It's just hard for me to let you win again.
Like I've told you for.
You're gonna tell the jury that I'm your puppet, and you're gonna be right.
But you know that you can just say that both people are taking you to the end no matter what. Like I would rather, if I'm gonna lose, like I would rather lose because it's like my own. Like I lost part 3.
I was going to count you guys in, but if you guys want time to talk, I'm not going to stop you.
Like like I'm never gonna do
I
this.
just feel like this keeps happening.
But it's like we're both here. It's not like you let me win another immunity challenge and I screwed you over.
What do you think I should do, Sage?
I think that you should each fight. I think if you give it up, you're not winning. If she gives up, you're not winning. That's not. I mean, within yourself, you're gonna view that as a win. Really, you're gonna be like, "Yay, I won."
I want to be
She
able to
gave up.
compete in part 3.
That's not a win.
I want to be.
I mean, you can give it up if you want, but that's.
I just.
I
I
am
think
fighting.
That's a very interesting point.
I am fighting to listen. If I go home today,
Because she got.
I am
the final-
100% all good with that. But I'm fighting all the way through for immunity. That's what you should do too. You are here in the final 3. I don't. You're not gonna
the
fight.
If I don't win
jury.
against you, he's gonna hate me forever because I basically sent him home in his mind.
The jury is, and then if I go home and Sage wins and find like part 3 against me, then like okay, then I lost every time that I needed to win.
Please add this extra
You know
block.
you're going to final 2 either way. The jury is not voting based on who wins challenges. The jury is voting on who said play the best game. And right now you're in the middle. And he's saying I was in such a good position to be able to throw the last immunity challenge because they were both taking me is better than winning the challenge and sending one of us home that you've been working on since the first day.
I'm going to do the live count in now. So,
Can I leave? Can I not watch the end of this? And did somebody just tell me? Because I'm not gonna watch you give up. So let me know who wins, but I'm not watching it.
Please.
alright.
You know I'm taking you. I swear. You really think I'm going to do this right now?
All right.
And then blindside
I
you?
have to count you guys in now because
Please,
I've said it 3
Sage.
times already.
Please.
So please add
Sage will
I
take.
can't let Sage think I lost.
Add that
She's
last
gonna lose
block
all
to your
respect
stack.
for me.
Like you dropped like by yourself.
I'm not gonna believe that at this point because we've been talking for so long.
Okay, but what is
There
that?
you go.
What is that? No, wait, but just say you dropped, and then I'll say I dropped too.
You have to tell that I dropped.
Mm.
Like genuinely that I dropped and I failed.
10, 9,
Don't pick it up until
8,
I don't know if I'll be able to get it
7,
up. Please don't pick it up.
6, 5, 4,
Please,
3,
please,
2,
please.
1. Alright, the round
Down.
has started. Faith drops. Kyle wins part 2.
God, this is so bad. She doesn't deserve this.
Kyle will go on to face Sage in the final part of the immunity challenge.
This is so
Congrats.
bad.
Like I hope you know how much I like appreciate you,
Mm,
and like
so
all my
good.
life I will take you.
It is time to get into the final part of your final immunity challenge of the season. And if you have watched season 1, this might be a little familiar because we did this same puzzle in season 1. All you have to do is solve your puzzle and you have won the final immunity challenge of the season. And most importantly, we'll have the sole vote tonight at Tribal Council, where you will bring one person to the final Tribal Council with you, where you will pitch your case to the jury as to why you should be the sole survivor of Rutgers Survivor, Nowhere to Hide. So with that being said, you guys understand the rules, pretty straightforward. Solve your puzzle, first person to call it. You have to call me to check it. Will win immunity. Sounds good? Alright. Alright. With that being said, final immunity on the line. Survivors ready? Go. Same puzzle, same pieces. There are multiple solutions to this puzzle. There's not just one. So maybe you might luck into solving it. both placing pieces. Question is, are they right? As I said, there's a lot of solutions, so your pieces might look good, but that doesn't mean that they are. Sage thinks she has a couple pieces left. Trying something different now. I'll practice starting over. Sage has made great progress, but it always comes down to those last couple of pieces. Question, is she right? Sage thinks she has it. Sage has won final immunity of the season.
Holy. Sorry.
Congrats. Sage, you have won the final immunity challenge of the season. You're safe at tonight's tribal. You are guaranteed a spot in the final tribal council. You will pitch your case to the jury. You will have a shot to win this game. But the hard part is you now have to vote out either Kyle or Faith. As I said, you guys have been close this entire game, so it's not going to be easy from what I've seen today. So you guys grab your stuff, head out, talk about what you need to talk about, and I'll see you tonight where the final person will be voted out of this game.
I just want immunity. My hands are literally shaking. I never thought that I would win an immunity challenge. I went into this challenge telling Kyle and Faith that I was gonna be okay going home. I was like fully confident that one of them would win because they are very good at challenges. I'm not very good at challenges. This is crazy, yo. I'm like, oh my god, I'm incredibly excited that I won, but also like looking at Kyle's face. Oh, oof, that hurt me.
I don't think there's anything I can say that'll make you change your mind about taking Faith. I don't think I would try to convince you to take me. I just don't think there's ready to take me. But congratulations on winning.
I really am sorry.
So, I lost the immunity challenge. I barely lost part 1, was winning. Part 2, I fully begged Faith to let me win part 2, and she ended up letting me, which I do really appreciate, even though I know I look so stupid. I promise I'm not insane, I just really wanted to win.
He was literally begging me, like, I don't know, I've said this a million times, the reason that I've like taken Kyle so far is because I feel like it really means a lot to him, and I try to avoid like purposely hurting people's feelings if I can, but he was begging me and he was like, you know you're going to be taken either way, so just give me a chance to fight. But on the other side I had Sage saying like, why does he deserve to have a free pass and you're just going to give up? And it's like, that's a good point, like I don't want to do that either. So I felt like if I dropped, he would hate me, and if I dropped, Sage would hate me, and if I held it up and won, because I respectfully would have won, Kyle would have hated me.
It sucked because at that point then he's gotten there because he's begging, you know, not because you want to take him, because he's guilting you into it,
100%.
which is like,
That's why I dropped you guilty names.
I know, he's really good
Yeah.
at it.
I mean, I guess it's like a strategy, I don't know,
But like,
I just feel like that's a crappy way to
he
get
wants me
there.
to I want to win on my own. Like, you're not gonna go.
Because I let him try.
I'm friends with Faith and Sage outside of this game. That won't change, but it does suck that 2 people that I feel did not play as good as games as me are gonna get a chance to talk to the jury, while I have to vote for one of them to win.
Welcome to Tribal Council. The interesting part about tonight, only one vote will be cast, and that belongs to Sage. So Sage, after you won the final immunity challenge, how did you feel? What were the emotions going on in your head? Walk me through it.
Very conflicting emotions, lots of stuff lots of thoughts. First thought was I beat my sisters at something. I've done something my sisters haven't accomplished, so that's good, you know. Shout out my sisters. They've never won immunity at Rutgers Survivor, so I have that over them. But like, I don't know, I really like these two people. I think, have had a good relationship outside the game. And I think we all kind of knew that it would come down to this. I don't think we knew exactly how it would turn out, but it's just kind of a shitty situation, but...
Kyle, when I revealed there was going to be a final two last time, you guys were very, very surprised. So was your mindset going into this thinking it was 100% going to be a final three? And if that's the case, how did your mindset change learning it was a final two?
I definitely did think that it was going to be a final three going into it,
Can I ask you why you thought that?
considering the fact that last season was a final three, and it was an even bigger cast this season, so I kind of assumed. And yeah, and then when I found out it was a final two, I wasn't super stoked about it, just considering the fact that, like, I don't know, I had the opportunity last week to, like, go out Omar. I don't regret it, but it's like if I didn't, then I would be in final two guaranteed. It sucks, no, but Sage beat me fair and square, and it sucks that it wasn't final three.
Faith. I always say that you guys are always so happy and jolly, and this is the one time that you guys seem to be very gloomy. And I mean, I know why, but can you just kind of go into more of that?
It's very odd because I feel like the reason that the three of us are here right now is because we did genuinely take the time to be friends outside of this. And usually in a typical friendship, voting each other out of the group is not something that you do. So I think that really, as you saw in the challenge too, it really heightens the emotions and the stakes, even though it might seem like not much is on the line. It really does mean a lot to some people, and that makes it really hard. So I think it's just sad knowing that you might hurt someone.
So then, Sage, for the vote tonight, because you have the only vote, how are you going to be basing it off of? As a friend? As a competitor trying to win? What's the mindset?
My mindset is, I'm gonna flip a coin. No, I don't. I mean, I think I know who I'm voting for, but it's based off of a multitude of factors. It's not like one-dimensional. There's a lot of things involved in this tribal.
All right, well, that being said, it is time to vote. Sage, go for it. You're up. All right. I'll go tally the vote. All right, the final vote here. For the last time, I'll read the vote. The final person voted out of Rutgers Survivor and the last member of our jury. Kyle. You can move your bandana. Kyle. Travis spoken. Thank you for playing.
I don't even know what to think. It sucks that it was a final two. I really did think I would have beat them if it was in a final three. Sucks that Sage won immunity after not winning anything the entire game. And sucks that she said she didn't care about going to the final two the entire game and then doing it.
but it's whatever. I can't do anything about it now. I'm out, and at least I know that I played a really good game.
Well, you guys have made it as far as you can in this game. Now the power shifts to the jury. Well, they will decide which one of you deserves to be the winner of Rutgers Survivor Season 2, Nowhere to Hide. I'll give you guys some time to collect your thoughts, and then you're going to pitch your case to the jury. So once again, congrats, and good luck to both of you.
I'm feeling pretty good. Sage and I were talking before this, and she was like, you know, I didn't really practice, and I'm just here to like crack jokes and get attention and have a good time.
I'm a little nervous because I did not practice what I was going to say at all. I kind of forgot that I had to speak until I was on the bus, and I was like, oh wait, probably should have thought about that.
If I had to place a bet on it right now, I would say yes. I think I deserve to win. I think that there's a chance that they vote Sage just because like she's so funny and was outside this like duo. But I think that purely from a game standpoint, I do deserve to win, so I hope that that's reflected today.
But I also think I'm kind of an underdog. I think that nobody really expected me to get this far. So I do think I think I could get a good portion of the votes. And I don't know, I think in the end I might even be able to win it.
I'm excited to talk to the jury. I'm a little bit nervous for what some of them are gonna ask just because like it is so unpredictable.
I'm not sold. I think I'm gonna see how they answer these questions from the jurors and all that. I think I'm gonna try and be more observational. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to give the most insight today, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm firmly undecided right now.
I'm actually really happy that a final two happened, all things considered, partially because the trio that's been going on and dominating this entire game, only two of them would be able to make it to the final, whereas all three of them, and if all three of them were there, I feel like it would have made for a very stale final tribal council, so I'm very happy that there's only two of them. And in particular, I'm happy that it's the two girls because one of them, the one who got out, feels like he led the group and deserves to win more than the other two of them.
I do think I played the most strategically dominant game of the season, with it not being particularly close. And it does suck that if this was most other Survivor seasons with the final three, I would get my chance to plea in front of the jury. But I do think we're gonna get a deserving winner in Faith, most likely either way.
I don't know what to do. But honestly, if it was anybody from OG Tropper, I would have had some choice words.
They're not my ideal picks to win just solely because they were two of the people who I never really got to work with. I mean, throughout the whole game, they were kind of just the other team.
I want to vote for somebody who played hard. I want them to speak singular. Like, I don't want to hear, if I ask them a question, I don't want them to say, oh, well, me and my alliance, me and the group. No, I want them to say specifically, why should I vote for them, and what they do to progress in the game.
I am going to be voting the best player to win. My jury speech and jury questions will say it all, and I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave all the yapping till later, and I hope you guys are ready for the fireworks I'm about to set off later.
Welcome to the final tribal council. Everything that you guys have done in this game leads up to this moment. Faith and Sage, one of you is going to be crowned the winner of Rutgers Survivor Nowhere to Hide, and will make history as the first female winner of Rutgers Survivor. Now, in a season, in a cast with only 3 female contestants, 2 in the final tribal council, pretty impressive. You guys should be very proud of that. In a couple moments, you guys are going to stand up and give your speech to the jury as to why you believe you deserve to win this game, and the $100 grand prize that goes along with it, and most importantly, the title of Sole Survivor, where you will join the Season 1 winner in the winner's circle. I hear he's a great guy. Without further ado, Sage, your time to address the jury is right now.
Hey y'all. Okay, so sorry. Okay. Okay. Oh only have 3 minutes. Okay, let me just lay out some reasons why I think that I deserve the title of Sole Survivor. You know, lay out some work that I put into this season. Sorry, I'm literally falling apart. Okay, couple things. Number 1, I won Immunity Challenge last episode, which when it was only 3 people and there was going to be a final 2, that was a pretty vital Immunity Challenge to win. I found an immunity idol, only woman to find an immunity idol this season. So that's pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. I had a vote cast for me at every single tribal, and yet somehow I'm still here. So I think that's pretty impressive. Most of them came from Jaden. I don't know, I think that in the beginning of the game, I wasn't, people didn't see me as much of a threat because I feel like I kind of hid, you know, I mean, I was a little outspoken, but I didn't make very many moves until later on in the game. But I think when I did finally start to make moves, they were big moves, and they were moves that really improved my game and pushed me forward. So I don't know, I mean, I think Faith can say this as well, but me, Faith, and Kyle had a super strong alliance. It allowed both of us to get here. We stayed strong pretty much the entire time. Shout out Kyle for getting you out last episode. You know, and when it allowed both of us to get here, we stayed strong pretty much the entire time. Shout out Kyle for getting you out last episode. You know, and when it was just the 3 of us, we really didn't have much of a chance of making it very far. I think all of us thought that we were gonna be kicked out one by one. But we didn't. We got back, and I think part of that was due to me, you know? I think they may say other stuff, but I think that I was a pretty strong member of that alliance. I don't really know what I'm saying anymore, but yeah, that's my game, y'all.
Thank you, Sage. We're gonna move on to Faith. Faith, you're up.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my social game. As soon as I got here, Kyle and I kind of instantly connected and formed a duo, where we then decided to bring Sage in and make that a trio. Now why this is important is that the first vote, Jake and Jaden came to us and said, we want Sage. Now Kyle and I could have easily flipped it to Sage and had to be the first one going home, but we stuck to our 3. And this 3 actually carried us through the whole game, but I don't think that Sage can necessarily say that she was as vital a part of this alliance, because I think that I was sort of the social crux of this alliance, as I was the closest to Kyle strategically, right? Kyle brought in Omar eventually, but pretty much everything he talked about with Omar, he would then tell me. And then some of my stats game-wise, I won the most challenges, and the only votes that ever counted against me, the only votes that ever counted against me were none, because the only time I got votes, I played an idol, right? And I think that it's very important to note that multiple people came to me throughout the game and said straight to my face, you're a threat, I want you out, right? One, I just feel like that's a little bit naive strategy, because you never know what someone has, but also, despite people saying that to me time and time again, I never got a vote that counted, right? And I think that that was just because I was so socially insulated, and honestly, it wasn't because I wasn't a powerful player, right? You can see Kyle, we were at the final 3, right? Kyle could have easily, I had the safety without power, Kyle could have easily voted out Sage, taken Omar, who he knew was going to take him to the final 2, right? And he would have had a 100% chance. But by voting out Omar and keeping Sage in, I knew that Sage was going to take me, and I knew that Kyle, despite the fact that he knew that it was the less strategic move, was also going to take me. So I had the final 3 and a 100% chance of going to the final 2, right? And I think that really speaks to my game. I was so socially connected, right? The way that I threw at the final 3 challenge is not something I'm proud of. I wish that I had done it straight away, but at the same time, I really think it is such a testament to my game that I could even consider throwing, given how much power and strategy I had throughout the whole game. And yeah, I mean, I just think that overall, the way that I maintained the alliance socially and held my power but remained insulated is really the pinnacle of my game, and a pinnacle of a game that is, at the end of the day, a little bit stronger than my opponents. So, yeah.
The jury drew for order. Unfortunately, Omar is not with us today, so we have him on a Zoom call. So, Omar, your time to shine is now. Please go ahead, address the final 2.
Hi. So, basically, the whole time I played Survivor, I thought I was 2 steps ahead. And turns out, yeah, no no chance whatsoever. I was getting played the whole time. I thought I had such a good idea trying to talk to Kyle and reach out to the other team. And it turns out I wasn't intelligent. I just did what nobody else on my team did. Sage, fantastic. Just being able to get voted every round and make it to the final. I'm so cool to see that game plan just work out. You were like, you always stuck for what you believed in, at least from what I saw. And then Faith, yeah, you played me completely. I only found out like in the final four, but like you played me completely. I would like bump into her and we'd like have conversations, and I was like, oh cool, we're building up a good rapport. Nothing. So I genuinely, the fact that you were able to deceive me so well, as a testament to how good of a character you were able to build. My question for both of you, you laid out your game plans and why you think you should win. I personally, at this point, am leaning more towards Sage because she was able to basically risk more and get more of a reward. Faith, do you think that tactic allows her to become a better player, or do you think it was more risky for her to be so upfront with her feelings?
I believe that the only reason that Sage was able to be so upfront with her feelings is because she knew that she was insulated by me and Kyle, who held a lot of power in the game, right? Like if I knew that I had to play a certain way to like make you, feel like you could trust me 100%, you felt like you could trust Kyle 100%. So Sage didn't really have to do that heavy lifting because I was already doing it, and I think that that's why she was able to be more risky, not because it was a superior strategy.
Okay, and then as for Sage, with your brazen tactic, do you think at this point you are actually like, you have the underdog status, the dark horse status, and do you think that allows you to actually have a better chance of winning in this scenario because you were so upfront?
I think I do kind of have an underdog status. I think that me being brazen wasn't necessarily me being rude to at least a few of people. I mean, I do think I was rude to a couple of you, but I mean, that's just how the game works. I don't have, for the most part, any problems with any of you outside of the game. But I think that a lot of these people I actually got along with, especially when we weren't filming, we were cracking jokes, we were getting to know each other, we had conversations about the most random things. So while I think Faith can claim that she had a better social game, I don't think I had a better social game, but I think I had a pretty good social persona outside of the actual filming, and I think that might help me in the end.
Okay, well, thank you guys very much. I think I'm done with my questions.
All right, thank you, Omar. The next juror to address the final two will be Gavin. So Gavin, the floor is yours.
Alrighty, so I have the privilege of addressing you second, which makes sense because Jake isn't here, he was voted out before me, and I was the third person voted out, but technically second person voted out amongst the people here. That means that I get to set the tone for how the rest of this thing is going to go. So basically, I wanted to congratulate both of you on your games. Fantastic games. I really appreciated both of them, and I think that you two fully deserve to be sitting where you are sitting right now. After the Lana vote, you guys took over the game. The entire game. And I'm not going to deceive anybody in saying that there was actual resistance against you because Luke flip-flopped between two different alliances for long enough for you to crush him. You controlled all of the advantages, funneled all of them into yourselves, and made all of the moves in the interest of your group. Honestly, the moves that you pointed out, the Luke vote and the Hudson vote, those weren't all that special. Those were just routine. You guys were just picking off your opposition one by one in the order of how threatening they were to you. People actually liked Hudson and wanted him in your spot right now, so that's why you took him out earlier. Same thing with Luke. He was the only person that could actually pose a strategic threat to you at that point, because he has the experience, and Kyle has the experience with orgs before this. So, in that being said, all of this felt kind of routine to me, and all of the moves that you guys did were to serve your trio. But I want to highlight individual game moves from each of you guys, because you did have a few moments, even though they served the trio. Your final move was perhaps the gutsiest move that anybody had ever made in this Survivor game. Sorry, Dave. And you made the critical play to take out the one person who was probably going to beat you in the final three. Your winning of the immunity challenge at the most critical moment was essential to getting you right there. Faith, you played a really great all-around game. Anybody could see that. You were building your resume the entire way along, and you made continuous moves to serve and benefit your trio. So, my question starts here. Sage, who do you believe ring-led the trio between you three? Who was the leader?
I think that that's a complicated question because I think Kyle really thought that he was the leader. I think he felt very confident that he was the leader and he was in charge and we were just 2 votes that he was stringing along. And I'm not saying that he didn't respect us because I do think he did. But I think that he was so confident in knowing that he was in charge. And I mean, I know that we're trying to win right now, but I'm not willing to tear down Faith in order to push me forward.
You know, I think Sage has a good point that it was sort of a collective effort and we all had different strengths. However, I would like to bring up what I had before, right? If Sage had sort of, obviously, this not so happy feelings about Omar being in the circles and Kyle was managing Omar. Whenever we'd go out to dinner with the 4 of us, it was very clear that it was kind of like Kyle and Omar over here, me up here, and Sage over here, right? We'd talk to each other, Kyle would kind of talk to me, and I was kind of at the head. I agree that like no one deserves to be bashed for what role they played in our trio, because in the end of the day, we were really strong. We made it to the end of the game, but I think that at the end of the day, I was kind of socially managing it. I was the only one at the final 3 who had a 100% chance of going through, and I think that that's really important to mention. And something else I'd like to bring up really quick is that the Hudson vote was not just Hudson is the next strategic player. I talked to Jaden alone in the room, and he told me, Faith, if you keep me this round, I will elevate you, I will help you win. And I thought to myself, okay, this is a time to differentiate my game, right? Jaden was like, I need a miracle to stay in. So Jaden leaves the room. I talked to Sage and Kyle. We had been saying Jaden.
Insult them again.
We had been, yes, exactly. We had been saying Jaden for days that Jaden was this vote. We walk in the room and I say, we're all talking. I say, what about Hudson, right? Kyle's like, why would we do Hudson? And I'm like, he's a strategic threat, rattling reasons. And then Kyle leaves the room to go talk to Omar about his new idol. It's me and Sage in there. I say, Sage, listen, Jaden told me that if we keep him in, he can help me win. He can elevate me. And Sage said, okay, let's do it. Let's get out Hudson.
Okay.
And we got out Hudson. Kyle had no idea, none, that this was indirectly hurting his game, because my plan, now that I had Jaden with me and Sage with me, was to vote out Omar the next time. If Omar had not won that challenge, Omar would have gone home. Because I had Sage and I had Omar, and we were, or not Omar, I had Sage and I had Jaden, and we were ready to make a move that was going to benefit my game. So I really don't think that that is a move to dismiss. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, 2 out of the 3 trio. I really appreciate it.
All right, the next juror to address the final 2 will be Hudson. So Hudson, please make your way forward. The floor is yours.
Alright, so that was a hard speech to follow, especially since I didn't really know what I was going to say that much, but I'm just going to preemptively start out. I'm coming in this with no bias whatsoever. I know that me and Sage didn't have the closest workings together near the end of my playtime in this, but I know outside both of us have had like good times just talking to each other, going on the scavenger hunt for that one vending machine. But at the same time, you know, like, I didn't really interact with both of you that much in game, and it's not like you guys did, like, both of you guys voted me out. So at the end of the day, I don't really have any weight leaning towards one or the other. I guess the question that I wanted to ask was who you guys saw as the biggest threat. It could be just in general, or it could be episode by episode basis, whatever you want to say.
I think that probably the biggest threat to me was Kyle, because Kyle was, I think the thing with Kyle was that he was unpredictable when he actually got into the game. When we were outside of the game, me, Faith, Kyle, we were friends, we would go to dinner, we would just like talk about things outside of the game, and I felt like he was Kyle outside of the game, and then we would get into the game and he would literally lose his mind with paranoia, and he would make a lot of moves that, I mean, I don't think were very smart, but got him far in the game. So I think that he was a threat just because I didn't really know what could happen, because I know that he got into the game and he did everything for himself.
I agree with Sage that as the end got nearer,
it was very clear that Kyle was kind of advocating for himself, which obviously is great gameplay. I do think that, to Sage's credit, you know, she took action against this that I didn't really have the opportunity to take. I thought Luke was a big threat. We talked at Akihi and he was pointing out there's a duo here, and I was like, he's so right, it's scary, right? So I think that that's definitely something to point out. I think that really threats were everywhere. You know, I was talking to Jaden and he said, I can do this for you, I can do this for you. And it was the first time really that someone had come to me and said something other than, you know, I think that you're a threat, I want to vote you out. So it was like, you know, you're kind of convincing me, you know? So it's kind of like, I think something that I was good at was seeing where people could be like subtle threats and kind of targeting that as well.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. That's my speech.
All right. Thank you, Hudson. The next juror to address the finalists will be Luke. So Luke, please make your way over here. The floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Faith, so my question is, despite everything you've highlighted, what is one thing that you think you could have changed, if there's a change you want, and what do you think your narrative is within the trio? And I know that you outlined that you guys don't really have a ringleader, but I want to know what you specifically think your role was. And as for you, Sage, in my opinion, I think your girlie to the right side is already looking like, in my opinion, someone I'd favor to vote for right now, genuinely. And I want you to convince me why you think you should have my vote over Faith when I'm already leaning towards her because of the social we've had in the game. So, Faith, since I asked you the question, you go first.
And something I would change is, just to be completely transparent, I feel that the challenges that I did throw, it's important to note that I was in a social position where at these super critical votes, I could throw and still be insulated, but I didn't like the picture that was painted of me in doing so, that I was giving up my power to make that decision by myself and listening to what other people were telling me. Like, it didn't look like a strong decision. It looked like I was listening to other people, and I just really hated that. I wish I could go back and change that. And I just feel like that transparency is important, because I think that if you ignore the way that emotion plays into the game, you're not playing a full game, you know? And then I think that my role within the Alliance, I agree that there's no leader. I think that I was kind of I know I've said this a lot, but the more social player. I think Kyle kind of favored me, despite telling me, like, he told me that he would prefer to take Sage to the final two, but then he felt like he couldn't and he had to take me, which is, I think, important because he was such a game player and a strategist, and I have managed to kind of, I don't know what the word is, overwhelm that with my strategic play. And I think that, you know, Sage and I grew really close and we're obviously genuinely friends. And I think that while that did complicate things, the challenges that I did end up throwing and was kind of hearing input from both of them, I'm really glad that I was able to make genuine bonds, and I think that that's really what carried me through.
I think that within the trio, while Faith might have been more social and Kyle might have been more strategic, I sacrificed, I feel like, a lot within the trio. I was always the person whose name was put up, you know, and I may have been protected, but my name was put up. If either one of them flip-flopped, I could have been going home. Every single time, you know, people were like, well, we're scared, like, whose name are we gonna put up? Because we want to vote out, just hypothetical, I can't remember the exact situation, but it's like, we want to vote out Jaden, but we can't tell Jaden that, so whose name are we going to put out instead? It was always my name. That is why people voted for me a lot, is because I, within the trio, said, I was like, put my name out there. If I go home, I mean, I'll be upset, but I'll be okay with that because it means that they can continue on, okay? Because while I did want myself to win, I would have preferred either of them to win rather than me.
Congrats on the final 2v2, and may the best player win.
All right, thank you, Luke. The next juror to address the finalists will be Lana. So Lana, please make your way forward. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Goatee. So I am probably the most open juror just because I haven't really been here, and I would just like for you guys to really fill me in. My questions are more about what happened in the game. I feel like everybody else's is more going to be in depth about, you know, who you are as a game player and stuff like that. So me, just tell me the facts, and I'll go leave something there. I've not made my decision yet at all. So, Vic, What was the book order after the merge? If you could fill me in.
So we had Luke, and then Hudson, and then Jaden, and then Omar, and then Kyle, and then Sage and I were left.
Big word that's been coming up is insulated. So Faith, you've been talking about being insulated a lot. One thing I want to ask you, did you feel insulated at all? And if so, how is it different from how Faith was insulated?
I feel like it's weird because there was a big portion at the very beginning of the game where I did not feel insulated because we had 3, which was a minority, and then there was, I feel like, a slight portion where I did feel insulated because we had the majority, especially with Omar when we brought him in. And then there was a portion afterwards where I felt like Kyle and Omar were getting closer so that I didn't feel as safe. I thought that Kyle might flip-flop. So I definitely would say that I felt protected within the trio, but I didn't feel as protected because, once again, as I said, I was offering my name up more than anybody else. So that was like, I definitely did put myself in like the range of fire. So
You were the scapegoat for them.
yeah.
You got a vote every vote in the merge, and they came up.
Yes. Every time that I was in tribal, my vote was written down.
Did you have an idol after the idol you used to get me out?
The only idol I had was the idol given to me by Kyle.
And that was the only time you were voted for, and it was
Yes.
void. So, do you believe that if, like, you didn't have that idol, that you would still be in the game?
I do, not because I think that I'm super confident that I would have been able to convince Luke and Jaden, but because I think that if Kyle hadn't given me that idol, the other tribe would have thrown to keep me in, which I think really shows yet again how insulated I was. That I was really kind of safe either way, I think.
In terms of, like, my gameplay, what did I do wrong?
So here's my thing, right? I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier. So many people came to me and said, I have no interest in working with you. I think you're a threat, right? I was in the room with you and you said, you're always going to choose your trio over me. There's no way you're working with me. You saw right through my bullshit, right? So I had to get you out because you were threatening to me. But I'd like to mention that I did talk to Luke about this. I said, I have an idol. I'm voting Lana. And Jaden could probably assume that I had that idol too, right? So I thought that it was kind of a common consensus that I had the idol and I was going to play it.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Lana. The next juror to address our finalists will be Giovanni. So, Giovanni, please make your way forward. And
Hello, people. So, I don't exactly have much to ask because I'm going to be honest, there's no way I can beat the multiple interviews that went on for the whole 7 minutes. But as the only juror that was here last episode, I did hear a lot of juicy gossip. So I kind of just want to lay out the foundation for now. So for you two, I want to know your story, how tight knit you guys were within and out of the game.
Me, Faith, and Kyle were really close outside of the game. There was actually a point in the last episode where it got really emotional and they actually had to cut the cameras so we could go have a talk about our relationship outside of the game because it really did grow from just an alliance to an actual friendship.
If you look at the final four vote, right? Kyle drove the 4 of us to the vote together and then drove the 4 of us home after we had eliminated Omar. We were tight, we were friends, and I think that that's kind of what made it complicated because you have one person telling you to do one thing and the other person telling you to do the other, and in that moment you really care about both of their opinions, and that as someone who, is a very emotional person in general, I literally, I cried after I dropped the blocks. I was telling Sage, I was like, I'm so sorry, and she hugged me and she's like, it's okay, I didn't lose any respect for you, and I feel like that was honestly one of my favorite moments in this game because it really highlighted the bond that we formed.
All right, well, that's all I got.
thank you, Giovanni. All right, I know you guys have been waiting for this. I know I have. Kyle, your turn to address final 2.
Faith and Sage, congratulations on making final 2. I am genuinely very proud of both of you, and if I couldn't be there, I'm glad that it was the 2 of you.
And I've been going back and forth on how nice I want to make this, how much drama I want to include in this.
And I'm still not even sure, as I'm saying this, what I'm going to say.
Faith truly played as good of a social game as you could have played.
Never had a vote cast against her. Had every single person in the final 5 taking her to at least final 3. Had Sage taking her to final 2, had me taking her to final 2, had Jaden most likely taking her to final 2. And in the right case scenario, had Omar taking her to final 2. She didn't need to play the most outright dominant strategic game, even though she did play an outright dominant strategic game, because her social bonds were so good.
And Sage, I truly do believe you played a really good game, as you highlighted.
You were the one taking all the risks for the trio. I truly don't think that if it wasn't for you outright putting yourself out there saying, like, tell them to vote for me, that there was definitely a chance the 3 of us don't make it to the final 3.
But for Faith, your entire game, you were so nice, you were so sweet.
It had everybody just loving you, right? It's time for that to change, okay? It's time for that to change. I need you, and this will depend, if you don't answer this correctly, I cannot guarantee where I will be voting.
I need you to look to all 7 of these people.
Dig into why you played 10 times better of a game than every single one of them. Not, oh, I'm sorry I voted you out. Truly say how much better you were than all of them.
Gio, I think that, there was an element of a social game and making social connections that I excelled at, that maybe he didn't. With Jake, I formed an early alliance. I texted people right out of the gate. He didn't. I never heard from him. Gavin, I wasn't on that tribe. I don't really know what happened there, but I do think that you were outwardly very strategic, while I was more subliminally strategic, more of an insulated threat, and everyone knew straight away we have to get Gavin out, and I think that kind of insulating myself there protected myself. Lana, I think that there is a really big part of not saying straight to someone's face, I don't trust you, I don't want to work with you, right? Jaden said it to my face too, and if you had just said to me straight up, maybe we could work together, I probably would have gone Jaden, right? Luke, I think that I had a tight core alliance that you didn't have. You flipped when you needed to, and I think that that's what ultimately sent you home. Who's left? Okay. Hudson, I think that you were also very wishy-washy. I didn't know where you were going. You told me multiple times you're a huge threat, you played an idol, I want to get you out, and yet your votes kept going to Sage, right? It didn't make sense. I think that I was somewhat predictable within my alliance, but also, I had reasons behind every move that I made, and I just couldn't really figure you out. Who's after? Oh, Omar. I think Omar's hugest mistake was ever joining a group of 3 where all the 3 of them started on an original alliance and did not expect to get. Omar walked in on the 3 of us sitting together in a dining hall at the final 7 where he could have easily flipped, and he didn't. He stuck with Kyle. I don't know what Kyle did to convince him to do that, but that just was so naive to me. After Omar, oh, is that you?
It's me. Dig in. Tell me how bad of a game I played.
So, Kyle's game was flawed in that he was a game strategist to a point until ultimately he just wouldn't. Giving me an idol, if he could have traded with Jaden with the idols so easily, I wouldn't have questioned it. I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. It was a trade. And I would have gone home, right? He knew that I was a threat. He gave me an idol to protect me, someone that was collecting idols the entire game. Felt it so important to give me one to protect me, right? Then Kyle, what was the word? I brought this up before, but he could have easily, I had not safety without power. He could have easily taken Omar to the final 3 and had an 100% chance, but he ultimately favored his connections with me and with Sage over the strategy that he claimed to have been so on top of the world of the entire time. It's like, if you're gonna be a cold-hearted game-playing strategist, you gotta stick with it, It's like you're only doing it up to a point, and then you wonder what went wrong. I just think that that's a little bit naive. I think that I had a better balance of strategy to social. And yeah, sorry that took a while, but there are a lot of people.
Okay, Sage. Similar question to you, except it's not directed towards them. I know you don't want to rip into Faith, but you need to. You need to, okay? 1 minute of truly just leave it all on the table, because I don't think you're going to do it in your final speech if it's not given to the question. How did you play a better game than Faith?
I played a better game than Faith because I love you.
You're good.
She let herself be influenced by you. She let herself be influenced by others. And I think that even if you didn't fully realize it, but when we were playing that game and we had to mark people's names, you gave up. You let Kyle, sorry, you've said it before, but you made Kyle You let Kyle kind of make you look like an idiot in that situation. And then you threw the blocks, which I know you had 100% chance of making it to the final two, and I understand that, but I think that you didn't have as much respect for yourself as I did. I stayed strong, I stayed convicted throughout the entire thing, and I don't think that Faith had that necessarily. I also think that despite we had discussed how we felt like puppets to you. In the end, during this final thing, she has consistently said that she was in charge of the trio and I was just being dragged along, which I feel like is hypocritical, but whatever. So I think that I played a better game than Faith because I was stronger in myself.
Okay, thank you, and those are the questions that I have. I'm so glad that I get to vote for one of you two to win, and may the best woman win. Congrats.
Thank you, Kyle. The next juror to address our finalists will be Jaden. So Jaden, please come forward.
Alright. First of all, I just want to say you did forget to address me. You're going through all the jurors.
Oh my god.
Why?
How do you say it now? I'm just gonna
interpret that as me playing a perfect game with a lot of critiques. No, I understand.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I don't want to get me criticized. You could have said a whole lot of things about me. I did not play a very good game. Looking back on it, going back to the very first day of filming. You didn't really know anyone. You were all confused whether what the challenge is gonna be, how everything's gonna play out. Going back to the very first day, if you could time travel back to that, knowing what you know now, knowing how this game is played out, and tell yourself, hey, you are going to win this game. How would your past self on day one react if knowing that you were going to win? Of course, that's not guaranteed now, but it's a good chance for both of you guys, I think.
Okay, I think that if my future self came to me and said, you're gonna win this game, I think that I would just feel really proud of myself because obviously, beside the fact that this is a game that I've immersed myself in for so long, watching the show with my mom and everything like that, I just think that I wanted to prove to myself that this is something that I could do, that I could make social connections, that I could get far in the game by talking to people and by being myself. And I think that if my future self came to me and said, you're going to win, I would feel sort of that conviction within myself that is evident that sometimes in this game I was lacking, like Sage said.
Okay, if I could go back in time and, even though personally I would not speak to my past self just because of the rules of time travel, if I could talk to myself and tell her that I would win, I honestly think that if I was day one and I was told that, I would still play the game exactly as I have because I played this game as myself. I played this game, I've said pretty much everything that popped into my head, which is me. I didn't keep a filter. I made connections that I will value and cherish. I think it's kind of like what Faith said. I would be very proud of myself to know that I got that far despite, what my personality may be lacking. To be able to get this far is an honor. To be able to play the game with all of you was an honor, but I really am just proud that I've played the game as myself with my full personality shown to everybody.
But it was an honor playing with you guys, and you guys totally deserve to be in the spot where you are now. It's just really great being a part of this with you. And good luck. You guys are almost done. One more and then Judgment comes, so.
Judgment Day is here.
Yeah, but that'll be for me.
All right, thank you, Jaden. The last juror to address our finalists will be Jake. So Jake, please come forward. Your time to shine.
Hello, both of you. It feels kind of anticlimactic, right? I played such a huge role in both your games. But I'm like the last juror. Anyway, congrats to both of you. I am really happy that there's two women sitting here. You guys beat the odds, and even though you voted me out, I don't really hold a lot of ill will. Game is game, whatever. I'm glad that you both made it, even though, I don't feel a lot of Slattery pride for obvious reasons. But I'm really glad that you guys made it anyway, because it shows that your guys' bond was actually real. It wasn't just for that vote and then you forgot about each other. It was really real, and I really respect that, and I hope for good luck to both of you. On paper, you both wrote the same person every single time you were together. So it's hard for me to differentiate your games, even though your personalities are different. So I want both of you to kind of just talk about why your game is better than the other person, or even just different than the other person, and why you feel that it has been better for you to get to the end. I'll start with Sage.
like I said before, I think that me and Faith did definitely play very similar games just because we were allies. We were very close throughout the entire thing. But I think I played a little bit more of a like upfront game, you know? I wasn't as hidden, which, you know, you may consider a negative thing or a positive thing, depending on how you look at it. But I think I was more upfront with people. I think that I was more, I don't know, like loud about my game, which I feel like Faith was kind of hidden more, which I think that my game was, I mean, gosh, I don't know, sorry, I'm like blabbing. I am very, very, very confident in my game. I think I played a good game. I don't know, that's it, yeah.
But just for why I think my game might be better than Sage's, I feel like there were a lot of moves that I presented to Sage or Kyle presented to Sage that we told her, you know, this is for our game, it's for the two of us, and she kind of went with it. And I think that that kind of would show that it's like superior, I don't know, I guess strategy in that I was able to sort of just look out for what my best interest would be and feel that I had an ally that was going to come with me on it. Like, as I said before with the switching from Jaden to Hudson, I did say that the reason behind it was that Jaden said that he could better my game and help me win. And she said, okay, let's do it, let's switch. And while I do think that is one, a testament to our bond, and maybe just her distaste for Omar, I think that it's also important to note that I did have that influence, and I think that that social influence is really what encompasses my game as a whole.
Thank you to both of you, and congratulations again. I wish nothing but the best for you, and congrats on the win. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake, and thank you to the jury. Faith, Sage, the time has come for you two to have one final speech to address the jury, to convince them as to why you should be the sole survivor of Rutgers Survivor, Nowhere to Hide. Faith, you will go first. Please address the jury.
Okay, so I just want to start out by thanking you all for your questions. I had a great time talking to all of you and being heard out for my moves. I just want to really emphasize that I really did play this excellent social game, in my opinion. I think it outplayed everybody else's that was here, as a testament to the fact that I'm sitting here in the final two, and I was taken there. And while there are parts of my games, like Jake said, that I do wish I could change and go back to, I think that that humility is important, and being able to recognize as a player, you know, I stuck to my guns here and this worked out, and I stuck to my guns here and this didn't work out. You know, I think I was able to read people, I was able to read the game, and I think that that carried me far, you know, from a stats point. As I said before, despite throwing challenges, I still won the most of them, you know, and every vote that, you know, was played for me didn't count. And I think that, you know, getting votes every tribal and being willing to say I'm the put me up, you know, it shows maybe less of a like I was very strategic. I knew that putting up myself just was a risk I was not willing to take. And while I do think that taking that risk is courageous, it just felt like unnecessary risk at times, you know? Like, why not keep myself insulated and protected when I can? I was in a very dominant alliance throughout this game because of the social bonds I made, and I never went up to anyone and said, I don't want to work with you, I'm voting you out, right? Even though I had a plan every single time. And I think that that really shows that, you know, I'm more than the mistakes that I made in this game. I had a good game, I was a strong player, and I think that, honestly, I deserve to be the sole survivor. Yeah, keep it short.
Thank you, Faith. Sage?
I think I played an incredibly strong game. I'm here, you know, despite what mistakes I might have made, I am still here. I am here, and it's not a final three, it's a final two. So, I mean, you know, the trio obviously got me very far, but I got myself here on my own. I won the challenge. I got Kyle out. I'm here with Faith because I wanted to be here with Faith because I am the one who brought her. I think it's important to once again say that I found an immunity idol. I used the immunity idol for myself. Once again, I sacrificed myself, which she might not think is necessary, but if I hadn't done it, you know, things could have gone the other way, and she might not view it as necessary, but if I didn't sacrifice myself and people wrote down her name and she went home, she probably would have thought of it as a different way. So, you know, I'm proud in the game that I've played. I'm proud in the personality that I've shown everybody. Yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys.
Thank you, Sage. So, in a few moments, our jury is going to be voting for one of you to be the winner of Rutgers Survivor, Nowhere to Hide. I want to just me personally congratulate both of you. Played tremendous games, and this season as a whole surpassed all of our expectations. We had so many bumps down the road that we had to face and overcome, and the product that is out in front of us to finally be here, the final Judgment Day, it is so surreal, and you two should be incredibly proud of yourself. So please, everyone, round of applause. Truthfully, thank you from the bottom of my heart, the eBoard's heart. Incredible season, and unfortunately, it is going to come to an end in a couple minutes. But for Faith and Sage, the power now shifts over to the jury. Well, they will vote for one of you to win. Reminder, jury, you are voting for the person you want to win this game. So write down the name of the finalist you want to see win. With that being said, it is time to vote. Giovanni, you're first up.
Outplayed and outlasted everybody better than anybody in this entire season, and I'm honored to cast my vote for Faith.
For the last time this season, I'll go tally the votes. In my hand, I hold the winner of Rutgers Survivor, Nowhere to Hide. Thank you to our finalists and to our jury for an incredible season. This will definitely go down in the history books, but I will see you guys at the live reunion show. Well, this is the last shot we will ever film for Rutgers Survivor, Nowhere to Hide. Faith and Sage, one of you has won this game. The votes are in here. You want to see your name tonight. How you guys feel? You're nervous? Super nervous? I asked Faith. I ask you that question every single shoot. this is the time to be nervous, right?
I am getting nervous.
Okay. Sage?
I want you to read the votes.
I want to read the votes too. Okay. All right. Like I said, you want to see your names in this box. So with that being said, for the last time this season, I will read the votes.
Let's go.
First vote, Faith. Sage.
Interesting, great.
So one vote Faith, one vote Sage. 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 That's 3 votes Sage.
It's gonna be like the reverse.
Faith. So 2 votes Faith, 3 votes Sage. Faith. We are tied. That's 3 votes Faith, 3 votes Sage. Sage.
Wait, that's your vote? I thought the other.
That's 4 votes Sage, 3 votes Faith. Faith. Alright. We are tied. That is 4 votes Faith, 4 votes Sage. 1 vote left. The winner of Rutgers Survivor, Nowhere to Hide.
There we go.
That was Rutgers Survivor Nowhere to Hide. Thank you for staying loyal. Thank you for watching this season. And stay tuned for a sneak peek at Season 3 of Rutgers Survivor. Thanks for watching.
Hey, it's Max Rubin, the second president of Rutgers University Survivor and the president during the filming of Season 2. Congratulations to Faith for pulling out the win. I know it was a hard-fought battle, and you deserve it. Thanks to all of our contestants for playing and everyone for watching.